Do I consider running something like SMAD again? I'd love to. I'd love to organize a SMAD. However, it's not really a tournament that's as needed in the Rocket League scene right now. The reason we ran SMAD when we did run it is because there was no international competition at all. When we ran SMAD, there was zero. So yeah, obviously we needed international competition during the it was during COVID. But now we don't really need that. We've got plenty of international competitions. So SMAD doesn't really need to happen anymore. I mean, crew battles are cool, but I don't know if you need it as much as we did back then. I'd love to see it though, of course. Anyway, right now, let's see a little bit of a regional rivalry between Moxy and Wavy. Wavy defends the back corner boost well. He is trying to defend his entire region from the European invasion. Moxy and Jory is both playing in the qualifier today for Salt Mine 4, the last chance qual from North America. And it looks like Moxy's going to have a 1-goal advantage early. There's a quick look at the ping. Moxy 96, Wavy 20. The entire series is going to be played on the US East server, as this is the NA tournament. Moxy, who has already qualified to the EU main event, is trying to make it to the NA main event with the ping disadvantage. Not going to get there if he makes saves like this, though. That was a bit suboptimal. It's Zuko. Thanks for the 2-month prime. Welcome back to the channel. It's probably a good time. Let me just say it before somebody gets an advantage in the series that I do think Wavy will win this. I'm predicting Wavy to win this match, and I'm predicting Wavy to qualify today through the upper bracket. I think he's going to be the player to make it into the main event as the 7th seed. He's struggled a little bit to replicate his ATR Cup form in the Salt Mine 4 qualifiers, but I think today's the day. I think Wavy wins this. I think he wins against whoever makes it through to play against him from the other side of the bracket. I'm predicting that to be AJ over Beast Mode, but I also think Moxy is going to qualify through the lower bracket. I think that he can go the distance. But Wavy's tough, and Wavy's also a nightmare of a player to go up against when you're playing with a ping disadvantage, because he just goes a lot more than other players in this tournament. Even more than Beast Mode. I think Wavy might be probably the best player in this lineup today, apart from Moxy himself. I think Wavy might be the best player at closing the gap to the ball. He is very good at getting in his opponent's face and stopping them early in their attacking sequence. Why is the main event in 4 weeks? Because we've got FIFA E for the next 2 weeks, so after this week, we do have 2 weeks off for the, overall Salt Mine productions. So next week, no Salt Mine 4 quals. The week after that, no Salt Mine 4 quals as well. But like I said, that's because we've got FIFA E coming up in these first week of December. So originally, when Salt Mine 4 was announced, it was going to be on the first and second week of December, but when FIFA E dates got told to me, I just moved it to the Salt Mine event back 1 week, the Salt Mine main events back 1 week each, because I didn't want to force players to pick between Salt Mine and FIFA E. I do try and accommodate other events when I can. I've moved a lot of my events that I've organized in the past to avoid things like FIFA E, and last year we managed to successfully dodge the Saudi E-Leagues as well. We managed to navigate our way around that, so I don't mind doing things like that. Oh, good goal by Moxy. 4-3 now in favor of Wavy, but Moxy with the close range double tap. Confidently struck as well. Can we not NA versus EU? I mean, asking people not to NA versus EU when we have NA versus EU on the screen for the first time in a few months It's going to be difficult. The last legit NA vs EU was in September, and now we're well into November. We've had a couple of ATRs feature some cross-server matches, but people love it. Listen, if you're someone who doesn't enjoy the NA versus EU rivalry, narrative, whatever you want to call it, that's okay. You don't have to enjoy it. But other people do enjoy it. Other people love to meme on the other region when they lose. Other people love to celebrate their region's players when they win. And you can't tell people not to take part in something they enjoy in, which ultimately is completely harmless. Like, does it actually affect your life in a negative way if your region loses and somebody tells you on the internet, haha, your region lost? Like, does that seriously ruin your day? If that ruins your day, I don't think the problem is that somebody's talking about EU versus NA. I think it's probably because you have put your region on a little bit too much of a pedestal in your mind and made it too much of your identity to the point where it's offending you and ruining your day. That's a personal issue that I would point you towards, not so much a community issue. It's time to take responsibility, everybody. You FFIRL. I know, yeah, a lot of people, it does genuinely ruin their day. If their region loses, they are big time sad. That's okay. You know, it probably just says that you're a good fan, or you know, big fan of your region. But you got to find a balance. You can be a big fan. You can have a good time watching. You can be a passionate fan. You can hate the other region. But then you can also just leave your PC and get on with your day and not have your entire week, month, year ruined. You gotta compartmentalize that stuff. It's like me when I play ranked and there's a Dominus in my team. I'm obviously not happy about that. I'm obviously extremely annoyed, but I'm not gonna let that ruin my lunch. Like if I'm playing Rocket League in the morning, let's make it more realistic. Let's say I'm playing Rocket League in the afternoon, because I'm probably sleeping in. Playing Rocket League in the afternoon, there's a Dominus in my team, they whiff the ball. I'm angry. I'm human. I don't enjoy that. I don't like losing. And then, you know, we lose the game. Alright, I'm mad. We lose another game, I'm even more mad. But you need to be able to then get off the game and get on with your life. You need to be able to be mad when your region loses and then get off your PC and get on with your life and not let that negatively affect your relationships, people around you. Your ability to do your job, your ability to just get on with it, you know? That's my advice to anybody who hates the EU versus NA narrative. I know I talked about it for quite a while, and part of it is memeing, but there's a lot of truth to what I've just said. And I think it'll help you appreciate it more. Alright, let's lock in, because we've got a 1-goal game, and it's Moxy with a strong mid-game, really building an advantage for himself. He's going to make it 2 goals to good late on in here. Wavy had a big advantage early. Moxy fought back, and now Wavy needs to kick off possession late in the game. Oh, well played. Wavy actually faked the mid boost grab, got Moxy out of position and flicked it past him. That was a really awkward play. Extremely difficult to pull that one off. Look at the flick by Wavy. Almost no boost, not a lot of momentum. Really not a lot of activity in the ball either. It was just rolling slowly. And Wavy was still able to get alongside it, flicking past Moxy. Now here he comes to try and tie the game. Just a simple double jump pop. Maybe a demo to follow up. Moxy's so difficult to demo in those positions. Wavy catches, low 50s. Moxy matches him. And overall, Moxy has done exceptionally well. He's more than survived here. He's got an advantage. And surely now wins game 1 of the series. It's going to be impossible for Wavy to do anything here. Moxy guarantees that the ball will hit the ground. And I'm going to call it an upset win, but not by much. It's definitely a series Moxy can win. But a very close series. 14 shots to Moxy, 13 to Wavy. It looks like one of those shots did convert into the extra goal that Moxy needed. You've been a G2 fan since 2018, and there hasn't been a season you haven't desk slammed because of that team. Oh, no. Oh dear, oh dear. That's okay though. You can desk slam as long as you can then switch off your desk slam motivations. You don't go into the kitchen after the game and slam your kitchen counter as well. I'd say that's taking it a bit too far. One in chat if you agree. I think it's okay to desk slam when your team gets scored on. But then if you separate yourself from the location of the crime, you slam your kitchen counter, you slam the kitchen table, you slam the bonnet of your car, I don't know, if you slam some other surface, that's a little bit worrying, I would say. Kitchen counter too strong. Yeah, you've also got to be careful. TRK tweeted that his account got hacked. I knew it. I knew it. I was onto him. TRK messaged me before this game, offering me some brilliant gift. I would be lying if I tell you I wasn't tempted briefly, but I didn't click that. Don't click links. If somebody, one of your friends on Steam sends you a link saying, "Hey, I've got a gift for you, buddy," you should probably ignore that. Don't click the link. We're all about advice this stream, apparently. We're literally just, it's a therapy session. It's okay. It's okay. Because I've read the script, Moxy wins, everybody's mad, and that includes EU fans. Moxy's a guy who's brilliant at mining salt. He's one of the top salt miners in the world, I would say. Thanks for updating the title, Stealth Moose. I forgot to do that. Now that we've had a day, by the way, to check how many of you have watched the latest Shotcast episode, how many of you have swung by the YouTube channel and caught the org round table? One in chat, have you watched the org round table episode of Shotcast? It was a great time. If you've not had a chance to watch it already, head over to the Shotcast YouTube or Spotify and give it a listen. It's one of our longer episodes we've done recently, nearly 2 hours. And it was very informative. Oh, good shot by Wavy. It's in your watch later. I love to hear that. Yeah, Arnold's fantastic. Really, really great guy. When Shotcast, when we were in Korea, when we were in Seoul, making content for the podcast, we messaged Arnold, who I think lives in Seoul, and he gave us a Korean barbecue recommendation that we ended up going to, and it was probably the best Korean barbecue I've ever had. And not only that, it was one of those places that you couldn't book online. Wavy wants a new server. Okay, we're just going to go into a new server here. Moxy says Lamau. I think Wavy was lagging, to be fair. I saw earlier on that he was. What is it? 337, 3-2 to Moxy. So let's just go to the main menu and do that. Anyway, rest of my story about Arnold. Yeah, Arnold he even phoned the place and booked it for us because we needed a Korean phone number to book it, to make a reservation, and we didn't have a Korean phone number. So he done it for us. So shout out Arnold for getting us a Korean barbecue booking at the best Korean barbecue of all time. And Moxy obviously finds it pretty funny that he is on the away server and it is his opponent who is asking for a new server. But I think I did look at the scoreboard at some point. I think it was 1-0 in the match in game 2, and Wavy had the orange error. 3-2 to Moxy, 337, right? I think this is right. Chat saying yes. The players are saying nothing. Yeah, the kickoff is fine. Okay, game time. Let's do this. Moxy versus Wavy. Game 2 commences. Just had to find a server that works for both players. We do have the green ping. No orange flashing error sign for Wavy. And Moxy does have the 96 ping that he likes to get on the US server. He bounces somewhere between 96 and 110. So this is good for him as well. But nah, anybody saying cringe Wavy, it's not cringe to try and get on a server where you can actually play the game without lagging. That's absolutely fine. So both players trading early goals. The 1 goal advantage for Moxy remains. Wavy trying to play the ball close to himself, but it got a little bit too close to Moxy as well. He misses the mid boost on his first goal. And Wavy 50s it past him. He's going to try and get it into the middle as quickly as possible. Not quickly enough though, as Moxy retreats and bangs it off the near post. Moxy now has to make a double save on the turn. Does well. Wavy trying to keep him boxed back in his neck here, but that's a lackluster shot. Could have been better on that exchange, Wavy. He's lost out. Seemed like every consecutive shot was a little bit less effective than the previous one. Instead of creating more high quality shots with every touch, he was actually kind of deflating in quality there from one shot to another. Excellent mind game by Wavy. Wide open net, which he does secure. So far in the matchup, Moxy's been the player playing closer to his top level. I think Wavy's got a long way to go before he peaks. Quite a few mistakes from him. Now here comes Moxy's boost starving. Will he get to break down Wavy's low boost defense? Wavy trying to force an own goal here. Moxy not going to oblige. Still dominating the boost battle, but now Wavy ties up that aspect of the game. And he manages to stop Moxy's flick as well, but gets demoed on the exit. I mean, you save Moxy's flick, you finally think, maybe I can get a goal off the back of this. And immediately Moxy punishes you. You can listen to Jotcast on the Jotcast YouTube channel or the Jotcast Spotify. Would be the two best places to listen to it. Obviously YouTube has a video attached to the podcast. Yeah, so head over to YouTube to search Jotcast. You should find the YouTube channel where the most recent episode is featured. You can !Chalked in Twitch chat or just head down to the YouTube description if you want to see the bonus content as well. We've got nearly, I think it's 73, 74 Patreon episodes now. Oh, Spotify's video as well. Of course, I forgot about that update. I know, yeah, we do have video on the Patreon episodes also, so there's a whole bunch of those. They're all 30-minute episodes on Patreon, usually an hour or 2 hours on YouTube. More recently, they've been an hour. Last week's was 2 hours, though. This week's, I should say. Moxy more than holding his own on the kickoff, sometimes an aspect of the game that's difficult when you're playing on the away server. He's missed that shot by a mile. Luckily, his recoveries are immaculate. Every time Moxy mishits a flick or a shot, he's just able to turn so quickly back into the midfield. Now the ceiling interception. Moxy full read on Wavy's attempted ceiling shot there. Oh no, a demo by Wavy as he tries to close the gap. Once again, fighting in the matchup. A matchup that so far tilts in the balance slightly away from him. Both games have been super close, but Moxy with a noticeable advantage when it comes to control. Ominously effective, Moxy, but Wavy is going to come back within a goal. What's the match record between these two? That's a great question. I don't actually know off the top of my head, but I'll pull up Pearl Jules and see if they do. Moxy kickoff goal. Wavy needs to get some delayed kickoffs into this match. Just gets obliterated by Moxy's wave dash recovery. He didn't even need to really wave dash off that one. Just single jumped into the ball and completely killed its momentum. Moxy's so good at playing the clock late in the game as well. Frustrating for Wavy, who's looking for a way through. Moxy is wasting valuable time, but Wavy desperately needs. And now he's hit the post. That's going to be impossible to score pretty much. Wavy on the turn, oversteers it, and it will be 2-0 Moxy. Wavy needs a reverse sweep, or he'll be taking a trip to the lower bracket. Well, it really looks to me like Wavy might be letting the fact that he's the favorite get to him just a little bit. Some of his touches are not as accurate as I'm expecting them to be. He's had some issues in certain matchups in the Salt Mine 4 quals every single week. I mean, it seems like every week somebody new pulls up and plays just a little bit better than we expected. In the first week, it was Chronic who got the upset on Wavy. And week 2, it was Cosmic. And then week 3, it's Moxy giving him problems. Now, it's up for debate whether or not Moxy or Wavy's the favorite here. But I really did think Wavy would be the favorite in this matchup with the form he's been in, and also with the home server advantage. But then you've got to remember, like, the home server, you're supposed to win, you're the favorite, that does put extra pressure on you. Moxy playing with the freedom of already having qualified for the EU main event. It's like he's playing with house money at this point, and he has not looked better in a while, fresh off an ATR Cup 6 win for Europe. I mean, Moxy peaking at the right time here. Beast Mode sweeps AJ, really? Well, Beast Mode making a late push to get into the main event as well. This is going to be extremely interesting. It's looking like Wavy, Beast Mode, AJ, maybe even Jory is in a lower bracket run. Could all be getting involved in that second spot. I mean, Moxy, if he wins this, has to be the favorite against anyone in that other side of the bracket. Will Beast Mode save North America? Will Wavy come back here and save North America? Will they be able to regain the region's pride? Oh yeah, Moxy did win Fears King of the Hill twice, didn't he? So 2 times King of the Hill, he won an ATR, Salt Mine, Qual 2 winner as well. That's a phenomenal shot. I don't think anybody in the planet's saving that one. Moxy with a fake air dribble from distance, reset, and then just a ground shot over Wavy's head. Wavy autopiloted a bit too far forward in the net. A French tourist annoying an American, how ironic. That's a great comment. Do French tourists annoy America in America? Or do Americans think it's cool to hear? French, what's the vibe? Actually, I'd never thought about that before. What is the vibe in, well, if we're talking about cities in America that actually get tourism, do Americans like tourists? Because obviously American tourists and British tourists have a bad rep. What a goal by Wavy. That's going to be huge for the momentum and as well for his confidence. Americans are totally fine with tourists. I love European woman. Yeah, in Europe, American tourists and British tourists get a bad rep. I don't know if any other countries' tourists get bad reps, but yeah, American tourists, British tourists are both pretty bad. I've heard in Southeast Asia, Australian tourists get a bad rep, which makes sense because can you imagine just a whole pile of CJs just descending on your local town? Just going about the place like, no. Everywhere you go, there's no. Absolutely ridiculous. One CJ is enough. I mean, he's a 2-in-1. He's so plentiful they named him twice. He's not CJ, he's CJ, so we definitely don't need CJ. 3 would be far too many. It's a bit careless by Wavy there. Moxy converting the open net at the other side. That was a bit desperate. Wavy kind of snatching at a half chance as he gets maybe a little bit demoralized in the matchup. The control that Moxy is putting on the ball, definitely frustrating to go up against. It's not been a massive possession advantage though, and Wavy is going to get a little bit more inside as he scores in the counter attack here. The Australian accent is very upsetting to listen to. I disagree. I love the Australian accent. I was joking when I said that a whole pile of CJ sounds like a nightmare. I actually think it would be great. I love the Aussie tourists. They're hilarious. But I think that's because of some weird connection that the UK and Australia have got I think the humor is just a lot more similar between the UK and Australia. They just, you hear them talking, it just makes sense. A little bit more of a natural connection. So 5-5 here. Moxy looking for the sweep. Confirmation coming through that Beast Mode has in fact swept AJ on the other side of the bracket. That's insane to hear, because AJ's been in great form recently. Beast Mode sends him to the lower bracket to play against the winner of Drui and Jorias. So Jorias and AJ could be playing for top 4 today, never mind playing for the grand final or top 3 or even main event. They're going to be playing for top 4 if Jorias can complete the win against Drui, who is actually on the board. Drui with a game there against Jorias is 2-1 in favor of Jorias. Nightya also got a game against Rettel, so both the series in the lower bracket round 1 going to game 4. It doesn't look like we're headed to game 4 here. Moxy has a stranglehold on the match. What can Wavy do to try and stop him from stealing away one of the region spots? Well, that definitely helps. Moxy unable to get the ball clear. Wavy kind of just popped it awkwardly straight at him, and Moxy couldn't get out of the way to knock the ball forward. It kind of just hit the top of his car and dropped into the center of the box. Moxy outplays the challenge. Minor slow roll on the finish as well. Maybe an extra second off the clock. Moxy just could see Wavy coming a mile away. If your opponent pops the ball up in front of themselves like that, and they're a player at Moxy's level, you're getting outplayed if you challenge. It's simple as. This will be the absolute last chance. If Wavy loses here, then he'll have to go through the lower bracket to qualify for Salt Mine 4. That would be an incredibly high-profile failure to qualify. Wavy is the guy in this tournament you'd really expect to be in there. His performances in ATR Cup have been nothing short of spectacular, but Salt Mine 4 quals, unable to deliver. Inside of the post there, and the ceiling shot by Wavy is close but not effective enough. Surely now he's within 1 goal. Yes, he is. Moxy says, what's happening on my screen has been a pure shame since 3 games. What? What is that about? What? What? He said, what's happening on my screen has been a pure shame since 3 games? Oh, he means it's laggy. Oh, okay. Oh, it's hard lagging. Alright, I thought he was like talking about the gameplay. I was like, I mean, it wasn't that bad. Sure, there's been a couple of mistakes, but my goodness, that's harsh. A pure shame. Moxy's made it 10-7. He's just obliterated Wavy on 2 consecutive kickoffs. Wavy needs more delayed kickoffs in his arsenal. He needs to be trying to disrupt Moxy's wave dash recovery kickoff. I mean, Atto kind of laid the blueprint for that. He beat Moxy in the very first qualifier for Salt Mine 4 Europe, and he delayed so many kickoffs that I really expected everybody to just do the same thing when they play against Moxy. Wavy has not brought that into the match. He's not been accurate enough, not been precise enough with his offense to really cause Moxy sufficient problems, and this is going to be game over. Wavy sent to the lower bracket, unless he can get a kickoff goal right now. Delayed kickoff would be the obvious choice, but Moxy might see it coming at this point. 6 seconds to go. Moxy might just predict that. I think you still go for it if you're Wavy. I think you still delay the kickoff and hope. Yeah, he's delaying it, and Moxy saw it. I mean, at this point it's too obvious, I think, but you have to try anyway. But yeah, if we can see it, Moxy's obviously going to see it. GG's. That's a bit unlucky that we got a laggy server for them, but Moxy looks in fine form, and he'll be taking on Beast Mode up next on my channel in the upper final, where the winner will make it to Salt Mine 4 main event. I still think Wavy can go through the lower bracket and win this. I really hope he can get a good server later, 'cause that's a real shame if he's just lagging and getting laggy servers. That's super unfortunate.